Little did we know that as we awakened a year ago today, that the lives of so many people would be affected in numerous ways by the outbreak of tornadoes which afflicted our state. We could catalog and characterize that in so many different ways, but unless we have been among those who have seen and been able to experience what has happened in the lives of people, we would never be able to comprehend the scope of it. So we thank you today for gathering at this moment. It is a time for Alabama to have a sense of hope and healing in the first anniversary of our worst weather-related event in our history. I would be remiss if I didn't say two things. First of all, I would want to thank all of those on behalf of the faith community, as it were, for your helping hands in this time of need. And also that we can say to Alabama, this is one of those times, one of those real important times when we laid aside all differences and became one people, Alabama citizens. We were not Anglo or non-Anglo. We were not Democrats or Republicans. We were not Alabama fans or Auburn fans. We were not this denomination or that denomination or no denomination. We were one people. We were Alabamians. And I want to remind all of us today that we need to recapture that as we go forward, for much is yet to be done. God has the last word, and the last word is always hope. H-O-P-E. When you trust His heart, you know His hope for each and every one of us. Today we are delighted to be able to have a time to hear from the heart of the one who was the point person during that occasion a year ago. Alabama needed a moral and spiritual leader who could be one voice for our hurting state, and our governor, the Honorable Robert Bentley, served as that voice and that person. We want to thank him on behalf of all Alabamians. Our hearts are at one with him as he has given us this leadership. He and the First Lady are here today, and I would like for you to welcome our governor at this moment and hear from him as he shares with us reflections from his own heart to us. Welcome with me, Governor Robert Bentley.
Today we mark a somber event in our state's history. Just seeing that date, April the 27th, on the calendar stirs up strong emotions among us as Alabamians. Today our state will pause and remember the men and women and the children that we lost 1 year ago. I want to ask each one of you here to take a moment as you leave and to read the names of the tornado victims that we have displayed. Like Diane and I have done so many times, I want to ask you to pray for those victims' families. We also honor the thousands who survived the tornadoes last April. I have spent this last week revisiting some of the hardest hit areas in Alabama, and I had a chance to check in on families and sometimes at their homes to see how they're coming along. We've made a lot of progress in the last year, but we have a long way to go. As we observe today's anniversary, let's look ahead to the work that remains to be done for the people of this state. In the days following the storms last April, I would listen to storm survivors tell me their tragedies and also sometimes their miracles. I put my arm around them. Sometimes I would just hold their hand and let them pour out their hearts to me. Diane and I visited Children's Hospital 2 days after the tornadoes. And as I looked at those sweet little children, all bruised and battered, and as we talked to the weary parents, I made a commitment that I would never lose sight of helping to make our people in Alabama whole. This week, I had the chance to see what is happening to the lives of our survivors. Ordinary people, churches, and volunteers are the ones who are making the biggest difference. You're the ones who are making the biggest difference in the recovery of the storms across this state. We were in Pleasant Grove on Monday. I saw volunteers with the United Methodist Church from Florida who were covered with sheetrock dust, and they were working hard to finish a building that would house a family of 6. In DeKalb County, Cullman County, St. Clair County, Franklin County, Marion, Elmore, Jefferson, Tuscaloosa, churches and faith-based groups and volunteers from all over the country have been working nonstop since the storms, caring for people and building their homes and ministering to their physical and emotional needs. This is the work that we must continue until our people reach the end of this long recovery. Today we pause to pray and remember those we lost and those who have survived. I want to take this moment to thank our first responders. I want to thank our National Guardsmen. I want to thank all of our civic and community leaders and our countless volunteers from Alabama and all across the country. And these people are still working to help our people reach a full recovery. And I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank the people who are watching today on television. All of you who have donated, all of you who have given, all of you who have cared, all of you who have prayed, thank you. Because we love the people of this state, and we have a wonderful state. I love the people of this state. And we're going to stay with them and continue to work with them until we help them get to full recovery. And that's going to take a while. We have to realize that. It's not going to happen in just 1 year. It's going to take longer. But we're going to continue until we reach that goal. May God bless all of them and all of you and for all that you have done. And I pray that God will continue to bless this great state that we have here in Alabama. Thank you very much.